Best of 2021 videos tend to get like crazy amount of views, so that's why I use that title. But this video is actually more like hi-fi gear that I've listened to this year that I believe deserves your attention. Not necessarily the best, not necessarily gear I have reviewed this year, no gear that came onto the market this year. Just gear I listened to this year that I felt for the price is definitely a winner. It gave me that whoa moment. Whoa, because it's just so damn good, or it is so damn good for the price. Now, given there are so many best of the year video out there, I will make mine short, well, relatively speaking. The first item is the SMSL VMB A1 power amp, a 10 watt power amp that is heavily biased into Class A. No, it is not Class A, but it does have the characteristic of a Class A amp. A linear mid-range, and it gets warm enough that you can use it as a coffee warmer. After my review, I had two other people tried it, and both of them were like, whoa. They found it surprisingly good. Now, for those of you who bought it and go like, Thomas, man, I don't know what you were smoking when you were listening to the A1, it was just okay. There's a reason why Harley at Pearl Acoustics, who does recording for a living, said in his video, the A1 is as impressive as the 10 times more expensive past lab he had. Let me give you some advice on how to get the best performance out of it. First, don't use it as an integrated amp. Get a real preamp instead and plug it in. Instead of using just a DAC, get a real preamp and set the volume to 68 on the A1 so that it goes into amp mode. And guys, the thing is 10 watts, so get some decent sensitive speakers to go with it. If you do that, you might get to experience that whoa moment with this A1. Now, if you still don't, go smoke some AAA grade cannabis, and I guarantee you will get that whoa moment with the SMSL A1. Now, if you do plan on buying it, you can indirectly support this channel by getting it from Hi-Fi Express. I don't get a penny for the sale, but they will continue sending me gear for review if they benefit from my video. A symbiotic relationship. The second item is the back-breaking Class A 48 watt Wilsonton R800i heater. I meant integrated amp. Guys, you get to experience the glorious linear Class A mid-range with plenty of power and dynamics for less than 3,000 US. How many integrated amps you know that uses 805 tubes at that price? None. And the sound quality is definitely above the $3,000 level. But Thomas, in your video, you said the thing is super heavy. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna move it daily. What about the tubes? They don't last forever, and it costs money to replace them eventually. I'm cheap like you, Thomas. Guys, it costs less than a cup of coffee to run every day. The enjoyment you get from it daily is worth more than that cup of coffee. Thomas, but I can buy all these other amps for $3,000. I don't know about you, but if I'm shopping for a sports car, I don't look at Jeep at the same price. Now, I have to admit, some people will prefer the R8 over the R800i because of the exaggerated bass with the R8. But for me, I prefer the more balanced R800i. It gave me that wow moment once I got to pair it with the right speaker. Is it worth 3 times the price of the R8? For me, yes, because it is a much more balanced sound, and I prefer that. The third item, the McIntosh MC275 Mk6 tube power amp. Now, I did not review this amp, and I guess I should. One question I always had is, with all these high-value tube amps from Asia, how does the $6,000 McIntosh 275 compares? Is it all hype, or just a brand that makes it more expensive, and in reality, the performance is not much better? You see, I have the McIntosh MC275 Mk4, and I remember the first time I listened to it at my place, I was like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not like much better than all the tube amps I have at my place, so my expectation of the Mk6 was about the same. However, the day I power up the McIntosh Mk6 at my place, I had that whoa moment. The quiet background and the effortless power. I had to say, darn, no wonder the bloody thing is $6 grand. When you have dark background, instrument separation is just spectacular. You know how I can tell the MC275 Mk6 is really good? When I was filming the B-roll for it, I had to stop a few times and just listen to it. Usually when I film B-rolls, I don't stop. That was when I knew I have something special. Next on my list is the McIntosh MA1 DAC. I've gone through probably 20, 30 DACs, and out of all the DACs, this one is the best. Now, usually I don't care when a DAC leaves my home because I have so many new DACs coming in for review. The McIntosh DAC was the only one I felt bad when I had to let it go. Even today, I still slightly regret not buying it. Well, the problem with having a YouTube channel is it makes no sense to buy expensive gear because I never get a chance to enjoy it. Some of you might wonder, what can this DAC do that none of my other DAC can? As I said in my McIntosh video, the reason why the DAC is amazing is very, very simple. Everything sounded just right. That's all. A simple reason and yet very deep. It's too bad not many people watched that video because my time with the McIntosh DAC gave me one of those moments where I had a profound realization and a light bulb moment. It's like Buddha attaining enlightenment under the audiophile tree. Anyways, I will link that video in the first description. The final item that gave me that whoa moment, the Apertura Swing speaker from France. Huh? Apertura? Thomas, I've never heard of them. Can I even buy it here in the States? Probably not easily. So why are you even talking about something we can't buy easily? Well, Thomas in Stereo is about me bringing you on my audio journey. I'm not trying to sell you anything, so that's why I decided to share with you this speaker that blew me away this year. See, one day I was chatting with Richard, and he told me, Thomas, I'm thinking about bringing this Apertura speaker into Canada, but I'm worried. I'm worried because this is a speaker that will not catch your attention the first minute, but if you sit down and give it a chance, it is fantastic. The fear is that in a showroom or at an audio show, people will be more impressed with speakers like Focal or B&W because, as you know, those kind of speakers have a lot of firework. But if people actually took the time to listen to these Apertura, they would discover a fantastic mid-range that other speakers don't have. Now, when I heard him describing these speakers like that, I was like, man, bring it over. I'm at the stage in my audio journey where these kind of stuff interests me more. Now, I'm not going to go into details in this video about those speakers. Okay, I probably will review it in like 6 months when they actually really bring it into Canada. But to give you an idea how awesome they are, let me tell you something. My audio buddy, Mr. Vintage, told me, better than all the speakers at his home, he wanted to buy the sample I had, but sadly I had to return it. He actually guessed the price of these speakers correctly. You see, one thing I do when I ask my friends to review gear for me is I don't tell them anything. If I tell you you're listening to like a $10,000 speaker, it might affect your judgment. To be honest, I was afraid he would say like, yeah, they're pretty good, like maybe 800 bucks. Fortunately, he said, you know, it should be at least the price of the Bukhara S400 because it is easily in that league's performance. Yep, I personally would take this over the S400 MK1. I don't know about the MK2 since I've never heard it, but S400 MK1, not even a contest, well, for my taste. My audio buddy, Mr. Quad, told me, you know, Thomas, I listened to the new $10,000 Sonus Faber Lumina Steinmount speaker the other day, and I can say with confidence at 2,500 bucks, well, Canadian, I think, these speakers, I would take them over those Sonus Faber without a doubt. These are spectacular speakers. I was blown away by it, paired with a subwoofer and game setup. Look, these speakers have fantastic layering, wide soundstage, extremely refined and detailed, yet not fatiguing. Above all, the mid-range tone is fantastic. One day I will review it, as I said, and I have a lot of stories to tell you about these Apertura speakers. Now, I know you can hear them here in a store in Montreal somewhere, maybe Toronto. There might be a store in New York that carries it. Anyways, you know what? I'll put Richard's email in the first comment so you can go bug him if you want to listen to them. If you're shopping for a speaker around 2.3 grand USD, you really should listen to these. Don't buy it blind because there's one little problem with it, and I will elaborate it in my video. And I have to keep some suspense, right? So that is the best of 2021 for me. Of course, there are many other gear that deserves mentioning, such as the Deckware UFO 2, my favorite amp, the Synthesis A40, and so forth. But I think I'll stop here. So as the year comes to a close, I want to say thank you for your support. And please put in the comments what are some of the best gear you have auditioned this year. We are in such amazing times now that there are so many best gear. Finally, a big thank you to all my Patreons too for your support this year, and happy holidays. Next time.